Okay, this section is about the decision-making process. It says here, decision-making is the act of making a choice. Many decisions you make each day are easy. You probably make them without a thought. You choose to brush your teeth, comb your hair, pick out a jacket in your closet to wear to school, and it cut off the top part of this, so I'll just read it. As you grow older, you'll be making lots of decisions. Other decisions are more complicated. Should you continue a friendship that seems troubled, like maybe that person's making the wrong choices about drugs or something like that? Should you get involved in a school activity you know little about? Should you start to think about plans after high school? These decisions take time and consideration. They affect not only you, but others. They affect not only the present, but the future. So we are going to go through some decision-making process steps that will help you with these decisions. So I want you to start a section in your paper that says steps in decision-making. Whether you're thinking about getting a part-time job or choosing classes to take next semester, the steps in decision-making can help you meet your goals. So step number 1, identify the decision to be made. I want you to write down step number 1, identify the decision to be made, and I want you to underline the word identify. That is the key word in this statement. Clearly define, which step 1, you're supposed to clearly define the situation that requires a decision. So first you got to know, like, all right, well, what decision do I need to even make? So identify that. Think about the goals and end results you desire to make an effective decision. For example, your goal might be to buy a new computer or get a part-time job. Okay, so that would be identifying the decision that needs to be made, step 1. Step 2 in the decision-making process is to list your resources and options. So write that down. List your resources and options. And underline the word list. What resources do you have or need to achieve your goal? Where can you get more information? Think about alternative options or choices you have. Make a list of your options. The more alternatives you think of, the more likely you are to find one that works. So step 2 is to list your resources and options. So make a list of those. Pros and cons, some people call it that. Like, what are the pros, what are the cons? Step 3 is to analyze and study your options. So write that down, analyze and study your options. And the key word, I hope you already figured that out, which is analyze. Think through the possible results of each alternative. List the advantages and disadvantages of each. You may need to learn more about each alternative. Talk to a parent, a school counselor, or a neighbor. Other students in the class said talk to friends, talk to family, someone who knows maybe a little bit more about making the decision, or someone who's actually in the decision. They've already made the decision before, and they can give you helpful advice. So step 1, you identify. Step 2, you list. Step 3, you analyze. And step 4, already you're making a decision. So write that down, make your decision, underline the keyword make. So try to pick the best solution that fits your needs or wants. And here's a couple scenarios here. After researching a new computer prices, you may decide to check out a local paper for a used computer. So that's a scenario. So you made the choice. You're going to buy a used computer. Here's another scenario. After investigating after-school jobs to earn extra money, you may decide to babysit or mow neighbors' lawns instead. So there's another decision that would be made. Okay, and then you move on to step 5, act on your decision. So in step 4, I could have made the decision to get a new computer or a used computer, but then I actually have to do something about it. I can't just sit on the couch and be like, well, I already made the decision to buy a used computer, and then I sit there, and I sit there, and I sit there, and I sit there, and I never do anything about it. I never go and get the used computer, and then all of a sudden that person sold it, and now I've got to pay twice as much for a brand new one. So See where you need to, as soon as you make your decision, act on your decision. And not in all cases. It might be a year. Like I might decide to buy a new car, but I'm not going to buy it for another year or for another 2 or 3 months because I know it's going to go on sale or I'm going to get 0% financing. Okay, so you wrote down, I hope, act on your decision. And act is the key word. And it says carry out your decision to the best of your ability. If you accept a part-time job, be a good worker. Have enough confidence in your decision to see it through and do your best. So that's step 5. Step 6 is to evaluate your decision. So keyword is evaluate. Did you make the right decision? This is what you should be asking yourself. Did I make the right decision? How has it affected me? Would I make the same decision again? If the outcome isn't what you expect or hoped for, you may have to make a new decision. Evaluate a decision and determine what could go better next time. You can avoid making the same error again. Okay, so once again, step 1 is identify, step 2 is list, step 3 is analyze, step 4, make your decision, step 5, act on your decision, step 6, evaluate. And the end of this says, following these steps may seem awkward at first. With practice, however, the steps become automatic, making it easier to work on major decisions in your future. And that is the end of the steps in the decision-making process.